In this video, we'll talk about how to determine the price of a stock where the dividends do change for a few years, and then after a certain year, the dividends start growing at a constant rate forever. Let's do this example. Loan Corporation is expected to pay the following dividends over the next 4 years: $11, $7, $6, and $3.5. Afterward, the company pledges to maintain a constant 4% growth rate in dividends forever. If the required return on the stock is 14%, what is the current share price? So here you need to determine P0. P0 is the price today, and this is what we need to determine today. I have here the timeline just so that we have a visual depiction of what's going on. So we want to buy the stock today, and we're expecting to get $11 year 1, $7 year 2, $6 year 3, and $3.5 year 4. After year 4, we're going to continue receiving dividends, and those dividends are going to grow constantly over time by a percentage of 4%. So G equals to 4%. To be able to determine the price today, what we need to do is basically estimate all of the cash flows that we are going to get into the future and discount them back to the present, meaning calculating their present values. We can calculate the dividend year 5, year 6, year 7, year 8, year 9, and so on. And the assumption here is that we're going to hold the stock forever. So we can do that and just discount all of those cash flows back to the present. The problem is that this is going to be very time consuming and very difficult to do. So we use a shortcut. That shortcut involves calculating the price at the end of year 4. So at the end of year 4, the dividends are going to grow constantly over time by 4%. And so the price at the end of year 4 that we can calculate will reflect in it all of the dividends received after year 4. Knowing that the dividends are growing constantly over time, we can use the dividend growth model that says that the price at any point in time equals to the next dividend divided by R minus G. So here we're going to use that formula. So here we're going to try to determine P4 because this is the kind of the breakdown. Before year 4, we had non-constant dividends. After year 4, we have constant dividend growth. So the point at which we need to determine the price is at the end of year 4, and that price at the end of year 4 is going to reflect in it all of the dividends that are to be received from the company after year 4. So here we need to determine P4, or the price at the end of year 4. The price at the end of year 4 equals to the next dividend divided by R minus G. The next dividend after year 4 is the dividend received year 5. So the formula would be D5 divided by R minus G. Let's first determine the easy part, which is R minus G, and then we can calculate D5. R is the required return on the investment, and in this example, it is 14% or 0.14 because we need to plug in decimals into the formula. G is the growth in dividends, and it's given to us. It is 4% or 0.04. So here I'm just going to calculate R minus G. So R minus G is simply 0.14 minus 0.04, which is 0.1. Next, we need to determine D5, or the dividend at the end of year 5. We do know that after year 4, the dividends are going to grow constantly by 4%. So that means that this 3.5 is going to grow by 4% the next year. So to determine D5, we take D4 and we multiply it by 1 plus G. This basically equals to 3.5 times 1 plus 0.04. close the parenthesis and then hit enter. And we're going to see that at the end of year 5, we are going to receive a dividend of 3.64. All we have to do is just plug in our variables. So we have the dividend year 5, we have R minus G, so we can just calculate. So here, D5 is 3.64 divided by 0.1 that we have calculated. So the price at the end of year 4 is 36.4. This $36.4 is going to reflect in it all of the dividends received at the end of year 4. So here I'm gonna plug in my variables. I'm gonna just put in my my price at the end of year 4. So the price is 36.4. Now we're ready to calculate P0. We have all of our cash flows. So if you were to buy the stock today, you're going to get $11, we're going to get $7, you're going to get $6 and $3.5. And then if you were to sell the stock, you're going to get $36.4. And this $36.4 is going to reflect in it all of the dividends received after year 4. To be able to determine the price, all we do is determine the present values of these cash flows and sum them up. So this $11, the present value of $11 is basically you take the $11 and you divide it by 1 plus R to the power T. R is 0.14 or 14%, and T is 1 because it takes 1 year to come back to the present. For this one, for this $7, we take $7 and we divide it by 1 plus R to the power T. R is 14% or 0.14, so we divide that by 1 plus 0.14 to the power 2 because it's going to take 2 years to come back to time 0. We do the same thing for 6. So $6, we divide it by 1 plus R to the power T. That means you divide it by 1 plus 0.14 to the power 3 because it takes 3 years to come back to the present. And here we just take these cash flows at the end of year 4, we add them up, and we discount by 1 plus R to the power T, meaning we divide by 1 plus 0.14 to the power 4 because it's going to take us 4 years to come back to the present. We have a shortcut that we can use here in Excel, which is the NPV function, and I'm going to use it here. So the NPV function is just going to calculate for us the present value of all of these cash flows, and then it sums them up. So instead of doing it manually by hand, you can just use this function and get the present value of these cash flows. So I'm going to open the bracket or open the parenthesis. You're asked for the rate. The rate is the required return, and in this case it's 14% or 0.14. And then you can enter your values. The first value that we are going to get is $11. The second value that we're going to get is $7. The third value we're going to get is $6. And the fourth value, we're going to get 3.5, but also we're going to get 36.4. So I'm just going to add them up. It's nice. Excel can just have you include the numbers, and then they will sum them up instead of having to kind of add them and just plug in the total number. So I'm just going to do 3.5 plus 36.4 for the value year 4, and then I'm gonna close the parenthesis, and the price is 42.71. So the price today, the maximum that you need to pay for this investment or for this stock is 42.71 in order to get 14% return and have all of these cash flows in the future.